Hello everyone, Marsh W13 here with another hotel review, and this week we are in the Crescent City, New Orleans, Louisiana, just in time for Mardi Gras season. We've booked room 1026. It is a standard king room. Let's say we check it out. So our tour starts in this beautiful marbled entryway. There's a nice table here just as you enter the room with a mirror, little privacy hanger, and we'll start with the bathroom, which is just on the left after you enter. There is a private toilet with some artwork on the wall and a single basin here. Bath products from, looks like, Philosicos. There is a lit vanity mirror and walk-in shower here with large bottles of shampoo and conditioner and body wash and what looks like a fairly fancy shower head. Plus, looks like a single bathrobe. And we exit the bathroom back into the entryway, which leads us to the main room here. And just on our left is the closet. And this is a rather standard closet, but it is fairly spacious. Tons of rack space and at least a dozen hangers, probably more. There is a fairly standard wall safe with a 4-digit code. Plenty of room for a laptop. It's relatively deep and fairly tall. Stand for your luggage and ironing board with iron. And now for perhaps the most important part, the bed. And there's a little bench here at the foot. Everything is really quite modern, but elegant, somewhat akin to perhaps a Four Seasons. This is, of course, Ritz Carlton, which is the most storied global hotel brand, purchased by Marriott some time ago, so now part of the Marriott Bonvoy family of hotels. Quite a colorful, sort of whimsical set of pillows here with a sort of decorative throw. There's almost like a cirque kind of a motif here, if I had to describe it. And the bed is very pillow toppy, but I'll admit not as soft as it looked, but still extremely soft. On a scale of 0 to 10, 0 being super soft and 10 being super hard, this is probably a 4. So on the soft side, but definitely sufficiently firm. Some more artwork, abstract artwork on the walls. Ritz-Carlton stationery with Ritz-Carlton pen, phone. I don't see a great deal of electrical outlet availability here or USB outlet availability, but there is something you don't see every day, the Book of Mormon and a Gideon Bible, which seem to be rapidly disappearing from the drawers of hotel rooms across the United States. Some decorative, I don't know, lattice work here on the wall. I don't know if that's supposed to be indicative of New Orleans, but I think this part of the room was done particularly well, and is representative of the city. Now that I realize that I think the color palette is supposed to be reminiscent of Mardi Gras. Now shifting our focus to the wall-mounted TV, which is a Samsung, and wow, it is quite large, probably a 50 to 60 inch TV perhaps. And there are a number of snacks and spirits available, and I believe the prices may be listed here on the TV. We'll take a quick look here. This is the room service menu. Breakfast served from 6 to 11 a.m. Then you have all-day dining, so basically lunch and dinner. Start with soups and salads, sandwiches, entrees, desserts. Let's see here. I missed one page of the breakfast menu. So there's kind of the main courses there for breakfast. And there's a children's menu, a late night menu, which is served between the hours of 11 and 6 a.m. It's basically just the first page of the all-day menu with a couple of entree choices like steak and omelets as well, desserts, and there are your beverages, beer, champagne, white wine, red wine, as well as some signature cocktails, which look quite interesting, particularly given the popularity of iconic cocktails here in New Orleans. And now we have the Honor Bar, which I believe lists the prices of the snacks and sundries that we just viewed. Now, on the corner of this table is a selection of reading materials. This looks like a pretty interesting looking guide to New Orleans. Looks like more of an advertisement and less of a guide perhaps. But there's also an issue of Condé Nast Traveler and of Wine Spectator. So certainly reading material of interest to me. Now, in this cabinet we have what looks like an espresso machine with some nice espresso cups and some Ritz Carlton branded paper cups, a selection of Nespresso pods, tea, sugar, and an ice bucket, some Ritz Carlton water bottles, and some stemless wine glasses. And then in the center here we have 4 drawers, relatively decent amount of storage space, but they are small drawers. So although there's quite a bit of closet space here, perhaps less drawer space than in some other hotels. And then you have your classic mini bar, the prices of which, again, were probably listed on the TV there. Looks like we have some pre-mixed cocktails, soft drinks, energy drinks, water, and chilled wine, champagne. And again, I presume that some of those prices may be listed here on the screen. And then finally we have a desk, working area. There's a pull-out chair here, but it doesn't roll, but it is quite distinguished looking. Here we have a Ritz shoehorn and some other accessories, some more Ritz Carlton branded water bottles, and finally some electrical outlets and a USB, even a USB-C outlet as well. And finally, a very ornate looking chair with ottoman here. Looks quite comfortable, and it's positioned right here by the window. Let's Move the drapes out of the way here. So this is a rather tall hotel. We're overlooking kind of an outdoor courtyard here, and through this little opening here you can see the Hotel Monteleone as well as the Mississippi in the distance and some other buildings back in the quarter. Now on the other side would be Canal Street, which is where many of the Mardi Gras parades will be staged. So we're in quite a nice location. The view could be better, but it could also be much, much worse. And again, we're in one of the taller buildings on this side of Canal Street, given that it's dominated by the low-rise buildings of the quarter. Well, that's all for today's tour. I haven't stayed here long enough to draw any significant conclusions yet, but my initial impressions are that this is, although a bit small, a very, very nice room at a very, very nice hotel. Modern, elegant, clean, not really showing much wear and tear, and a great location, particularly if you're visiting for Mardi Gras, as we are only 1 block away really from the festivities on Bourbon Street that I'm sure will be taking place every night, as well as many of the parade routes on Canal Street. Well, laissez rouler les bon temps, and until next time, safe and happy travels. Marsh W13 out.